Trump was just asked point blank how the confrontation with Harvard is going to end, and trust me, his response doesn't disappoint. Harvard has been disrespecting our country, they've been dumbing down education, and Trump isn't having any of it. He makes it clear he's fighting for America's future and won't back down from holding elite institutions accountable. Stick around, because after the first short clip, I've got more explosive moments lined up for you that you absolutely won't want to miss. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. Hit like, subscribe, and let's dive right in.
Go ahead.
How will the confrontation with Harvard end? You will see.
I don't know. I don't know. Harvard's got to behave themselves. Harvard is treating our country with great disrespect, and all they're doing is getting in deeper and deeper and deeper. They've got to behave themselves. You know, I'm looking out for the country and for Harvard. I want Harvard to do well. I want Harvard to be great again, probably, because how could it be great? How could it be great when you have Harvard announced 2 weeks ago that they are going to teach remedial mathematics, remedial, meaning they're going to teach low-grade mathematics, like 2 + 2 is 4. How did these people get into Harvard if they can't do basic mathematics? How did they do it? I mean, people with 1,600 on their boards don't get in, and they're letting people in, and they're bragging about how they're teaching them basic mathematics. Where did these people come from? So we have to look at the list, and Harvard has to understand the last thing I want to do is hurt them. They're hurting themselves. They're fighting. You know, Columbia has been they were very, very bad what they've done. They're very anti-Semitic and lots of other things, but they're working with us on finding a solution. And, you know, they're taking off that hot seat. But Harvard wants to fight. They want to show how smart they are, and they're getting their ass kicked.
Harvard's issues go deeper than just academics. And coming up next, you're going to see exactly why Trump's confrontation with Harvard isn't just justified, it's necessary. Harvard thinks they can dodge accountability, but Trump lays out precisely why that's not happening on his watch. And after this next clip, I'll show you exactly what Senator Kennedy has to say about this, and he doesn't hold back. Let's roll the next clip.
The administration resume the interviews for foreign students' visa. When do you think your administration could resume these interviews?
On what?
For the foreign student visa. Yesterday there was...
for the French visa?
For the French too, but all the foreign students.
Oh, for the foreign visas? What are you referring? Foreign visas for what? Are you talking about for colleges? Okay, so you're off of Israel. Now you're talking about colleges, right?
Yes, now.
Okay. Well, we're going to see. Look, Harvard has been a disaster. They've taken $5 billion plus. $5 billion. Nobody knew that they were making this kind. If we didn't do this, we would have never found this out, Pam. They're taking $5 billion. And I'd rather see that money go to trade schools. And by the way, they're totally anti-Semitic at Harvard, as you know, and some other colleges too, in all fairness to them. And it's been exposed, very exposed. And I think they're dealing very badly. Every time they fight, they lose another $250 million. Yesterday, we found another $100 million. And they have, you know, they have a fund, an endowment, $52 billion. All right? They get a lot of that from the United States. And I think it's ridiculous. I think this, everyone's coming up to me saying, we love the idea of trade schools. With that kind of money, and money from others, but money from them, you can have the best trade schools anywhere in the world. You give them to Iowa, Indiana, lots of good states, well-run states, and you give them the money. They can only be used for trade schools, and they'll teach people how to build motors and cars.
Mr. President, on Harvard, there were some Jewish students protesting on campus yesterday. They said they don't want you making these huge cuts, cutting off student visas to Harvard in their name, because they feel
Harvard
like
has to show us.
More of a target.
Okay, Harvard has to show us their lists. They have foreign students. About 31% of their students are foreign-based, almost 31%. We want to know where those students come. Are they troublemakers? What countries do they come? And we're not going to, if somebody is coming from a certain country and they're 100% fine, which I hope most of them are, but many of them won't be, you're going to see some very radical people. They're taking people from areas of the world that are very radicalized, and we don't want them making trouble in our country. So I saw yesterday that in the middle of the UK, there was a nice young man. He wants to go back to school at Harvard, and he looked good to me, but I want to check his past. But we want to be able to see. why, these countries aren't helping us. They're not investing in Harvard and all of we are. So why would 31%, why would a number so big? I think, number one, I think they should have a cap of maybe around 15%, not 31%. We have people who want to go to Harvard and other schools. They can't get in because we have foreign students there. But I want to make sure that the foreign students are people that can love our country. We don't want to see shopping centers exploding. We don't want to see the kind of riots that you had. And I'll tell you what, many of those students didn't go anywhere. Many of those students were troublemakers caused by the radical left lunatics in this country.
Next up, I'm just going to roll this clip. You have to see what John Kennedy says about this. Watch.
Here's what I hear President Trump saying. Harvard is an overpriced indoctrination mill. There are other schools, but Harvard is the leader of the pack. The purpose of higher education is to make you think, not make you feel comfortable. The purpose of higher education is to teach you a variety of points of view. Harvard doesn't practice that. Harvard practices its faculty and its administration, ideology conformity, ideology capture. And from their point of view, they believe in only certain things, and you can't believe in anything else. For example, they believe in racial quotas. Well, they're illegal. Harvard believes in diversity, equity, inclusion, and the right to hurt Jewish people. Well, that's illegal.
Senator John Kennedy nailed it perfectly, calling Harvard an overpriced indoctrination mill, and he's absolutely right. Harvard went from one of the most respected institutions to a place where politics matter more than real education. Their legacy is crumbling, and it's happening fast. Now, Secretary Kristi Noem dropped some explosive details on X by sharing a letter straight from Homeland Security investigations. Harvard is on the brink of losing its certification to enroll foreign students, and the reasons are shocking. On January 29, 2025, President Trump issued Executive Order 14188, specifically to fight anti-Semitism. But guess what? Harvard ignored it. Evidence shows that their campus is still rife with violence, harassment, and anti-Semitic behavior. Nearly 60% of Jewish students at Harvard face discrimination, according to their own 2025 study. And that's not all. Harvard partnered with entities connected to the Chinese Communist Party, even pocketing over $151 million from foreign governments since just January 2020. That's a major security risk. Harvard now just has 30 days to respond, or they'll lose the right to enroll international students. This is not about bureaucracy. It's about protecting our nation and upholding our values. Harvard's finally facing accountability, and it's about time. Thanks for watching. This is Andy with TrendingPolitics.com. If you like this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the truth spreading.